Hi. Hi. We just returned from the annual meeting of the ANAC.
The General Assembly
Awesome.
2018 at Newport Beach. So thank you everybody who attended. And Roxanne and I are killing a little bit of time waiting for our 11 p.m. connection. So we thought that we would share with you a little bit of the legislative update that we promised to you. And so we have a couple of bills we wanted to go over. Then we're going to tell you some of the results of the recent election. And then Roxanne will tell you a little bit about the outlook, what the new elected officials mean for California. So I'll do first. You go
Sure,
first?
you go first.
All right. So I'll just start with a couple of priority bills. So we had AB 1795 from Assemblyman Gibson. He wanted to lighten the load of ERs, and so he proposed a bill that would allow the EMS personnel to determine if a patient can be sent to either behavioral health or maybe sobering facility. But we had questions regarding the level of care, the level of assessment, who's going to be making the decisions. Are nurse practitioners part of it? Are PAs part of it? Who's going to be making the decision in the nursing diagnosis? So that bill failed. It didn't go much further. The next interesting bill was AB 2759 from Assemblyman Santiago, and that dealt with clinical displacement, and it would legislate how hospitals can hire nurses. It would legislate where nursing schools can place their nursing students based on either ADN program or BSN program, because we know that there were some issues with clinical displacement. This bill didn't go any further. However, based on this bill, it was the leadership of the RN and Dr. Morris who organized, along with Health Impact and ACNL, he organized 7 regional DRN summits where we brought the education side and the service side together to work on breaking down barriers, breaking down silos, creating communications, and figuring out what is best for the future of nursing workforce. We were lucky enough to have Dr. Joan Spetz from UCSF, who brought her latest data from 2017 survey, and so she was projecting the workforce requirements and the workforce need by 2035. And so Health Impact is currently working on summarizing all the data from the 7 BRN summits, and once we have all the data, we will definitely share it with you.
I'll talk to the next bill real
Please,
fast. The next bill will be
absolutely.
by Assemblymember Burke, 2682. This was the third, maybe even fourth attempt by the Assemblywoman to try to address nurse midwives and trying to be able to operate under the full scope of their authority, everything they were trained and licensed to do. And it unfortunately made it so far through the process this time, but failed passage again. She is so personally passionate about this issue. I don't know if she'll be able to find the stomach to go forward, but she was awesome, and it was a good bill that we supported.
Didn't you say that she felt it so strongly that sometimes she would be really emotional during hearings?
Oh, when she would introduce the bill, because it was a personal issue to her, when she would be introducing the bill in committee, she would literally start crying, not even just tearing up, crying. And you want an author that's that personally passionate. Unfortunately, that passion wasn't enough to get it across the finish line.
So, taking on that, where is it that we're going to go in 2019? Where is it that the APR and coalition partners decide? Will nurse practitioners introduce a medical practice authority bill? Will nurse midwives do it? It is something that the APR and coalition will meet later this month and we'll discuss, and we will definitely update you on what's going on. Roxanne, take the next bill. How about SB
1152 by Hernandez is, I think we can all agree that the homeless problem is astronomically important and at DEFCON 10. The question is, how do we really adequately and appropriately address it, particularly in the medical environment? There was a bill that was trying to take one piece of that puzzle and say that if a homeless person is in the hospital emergency room, that the discharge staff would have to, before discharging a homeless person, would have to make sure they could document when they had a meal, they document they had been bathed, document that they had clothes, they had to document where they were going to go after being in the hospital.
30-day medication supply.
Right. And so the bill ultimately actually was cleaned up to be more reasonable and was ultimately signed by the governor. It is a small chip in the problem that is homelessness, but it does address a portion of it.
Absolutely. And then the next bill, and this one and the following bill, SB 1288 from Senator Leyva, we already covered with you when those two bills were one signed and one vetoed. But the 1288 is the healthcare facilities, the inspection on keeping up with the staffing law in California. So we know we already updated you that the governor vetoed that bill because he said that California Department of Public Health already has the tools necessary to do inspections and to issue monetary or fiscal punishment to facilities that are not keeping up with nursing staffing.
So, before we go on to what's going on in 2019 and the recent election, you all probably know ANAC was so upfront on Prop 8, the dialysis initiative. No on Prop 8. Highly visible. We were successful in defeating it. We think it had extremely negative consequences were it to pass. So thank you everyone who participated in that. And thank you to the nice gentleman here in the airport who's carrying the camera for us while we finish this. I promise it won't be much longer.
Yeah, thank you.
So, 2018 was the second year of a 2-year session, and we, as you all know, have Governor Newsom as our next governor. We have a highly likely supermajority of Democrats in the Assembly and Senate. Democratic governor, every cabinet level is going to be a governor. This actually is the first time in 130 years that we'll have a Democratic governor following a Democratic governor. So I just like to say Californians are fickle, and that for 8 years they like a Republican, for 8 years they like a Democrat. We flip-flop for the last 130 years. This is the first time we're going to have a second Democratic governorship, so we'll see how that all pans out. We do believe, you might think that a supermajority in both houses and a Democratic governor is going to result in the world either coming to an end or being nirvana, but Governor Newsom has high aspirations. He wants to address the homeless problem. He wants to address climate change. He wants to have free junior college for 2 years. He wants to have single-payer health care. He wants to have free pre-K. The single payer alone is $400 billion, 3 times the state budget. So I suspect instead of having Democrats versus Republicans fighting each other this next session, next year for sure, we're going to end up with moderate Democrats fighting liberal Democrats. So it could be an interesting seat at the table. So I think that's wonderful.
So thank you everybody who attended the General Assembly. We loved seeing you. We did promise you that we will have more recorded updates coming the 2019-2020 legislative session. So we will work on that, and you know exactly where to find us. You have our email, you have our phone number. Please let us know how we can work together and what the legislative priorities for the next session should be. And thank you.
As Arnold almost said, we'll be back.
We'll be back. Bye.